Hi guys, JT here, and today I'll be bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle Feel the Rhythm Bundle of May 2023. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? If you find this video helpful, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means everything. Anyway, let's get into this. And number 1 we have No Straight Roads Encore Edition. A music action game featuring bombastic boss battles as its main gameplay mechanic. The game is set in Vinyl City, where EDM is the main power source controlled by the No Straight Roads organization. The story follows Mayday and Zook, a duo of rock musicians who decide to take down the EDM empire by defeating each NSR artist one by one in hopes of bringing back power to the entirety of Vinyl City. The game features a set of music battles in which you fight each NSR music in theatrical boss stages, with each encounter being more over the top than the previous one. Combat is a mix of hack and slash attacking and rhythm-based evasion, and each battle is designed around a different genre, making it feel like a cohesive collaboration of music, theme, and fun. However, while battles are bursting with chaotic energy, it can quickly get overwhelming and it feels like the core of the battle loses direction. The game's soundtrack is dynamic, where the pulsating rhythms of EDM slowly gets taken over by thrashing guitar solos as the fight goes on. In between boss battles, players get some downtime to explore each NSR artist's district, chat with different NPCs, collect helpful items, and upgrade their abilities in Bunk Bed Junction's underground sewer base. No Straight Roads cartoon visuals and zany humor are reminiscent of the games of Team Schafer, with a good sense of rhythm helping you dodge incoming attacks, although keeping in time with the beat isn't vital. The music acts as more as a guide for timing your action, and losing the rhythm does not lead to any punishment. Overall, No Straight Roads is an exhilarating experience, with moments of explosive clutter of ideas, but also with well-designed battles that feel like a cohesive collaboration of music, theme, and fun. And number 2 we have Beat Hazard 3, an intense music-driven twin-stick shooter. This arcade PC game lets you fight in space while listening to your own music, creating a unique experience every time you play. With a mixture of arcade shooter and music game, it's more than just Beat Saber. Beat Hazard 3 offers 3 game modes: Arcade, Galactic Campaign, and Community Challenges. Each music track or song is a separate level with its own leaderboard and high scores, so you can compete with players from around the world. Arcade mode is straightforward, letting you select a song and play through a variety of modes to set your high score. Galactic Campaign is a long-term commitment where you can create your own galaxy of music genres and artists. You can even use your mothership to upgrade and customize your experience. Community Challenges offer daily, lightning, and galactic challenges where you can compete with other players for rare elite ships. Fighting in Beat Hazard 3 is intense and requires quick reactions and skills. You have several lives in most game modes, but enemies can easily swarm you if you're not careful. Shields can be mitigated using lasers, but they take a long time to charge, and some shields require several bursts to get through. Switching between laser fire and normal shots while maneuvering between enemies and projectiles is the core mechanic of combat in Beat Hazard 3. Overall, Beat Hazard 3 is still in early access, but it has a lot of potential. Competing with friends for high scores, or going through the campaign together is fun, and community challenges add another layer of competition. It'll be interesting to see how the Galactic Campaign plays out in the long term. So if you're looking for a new way to enjoy your music, give Beat Hazard 3 a try. And number 3 we have Trombone Champ, a trombone-based rhythm game. This one-person developed game follows the tradition of Twitch reflex music rhythm games and features a unique twist. You're playing a trombone. The gameplay involves moving the mouse up and down to reach different pitches and clicking a button to play the note, with the goal of amassing combos and playing notes in order. The graphics may not be the highlight of the game, but the utterly dumb imagery on screen while you're playing any given song adds to the game's charm. While the gameplay loop can become physically demanding over a few songs due to the need to move the mouse around quickly, it's still a genius concept that's executed quite well. In addition to the gameplay, Trombone Champ also features a collectible aspect, where you can gather trading cards featuring famous composers and trombonists, and sacrifice them in a satanic ritual to collect new kinds of trombones for your character to use. You can also collect trivia about baboons and fake but funny information about trombones. The soundtrack is solely comprised of royalty-free music and some original compositions, but the small repertoire may be an issue for some. The game's limited size, scope, and replayability may also be a concern for some players, but for others it's a magnificent breath of fresh air. In short, Trombone Champ is a weird and adorable game that's worth checking out if you're in the mood for something fun and quirky. And this is probably the most time I've said the word trombone within a span of a minute or two in my life. And number 4 we have Soundfall, an action RPG rhythm game that takes place in the land of Symphonia. The game combines looter shooter gameplay with rhythm-based action, in which you must attack enemies in time with the music to progress through the game's levels. The game's music dynamically generates levels to match paired tracks, and each level also displays its BPM to give the players a sense of pacing. Players can import their own music to create new procedurally generated levels to play in free play. The game's combat, gear, levels, and enemies lack variety, but different characters offer unique secondary weapons and special attacks. And loot may also come with special properties determined by its genre. Minuet weapons heal you, while Requiem weapons do chain damage. Certain enemies may be weak to certain music genres, and wearing the right armor protects you from corresponding damage types. Playing specific songs to farm specific kinds of equipment is a fun musical twist on the typical loot grinds. Soundfall's musical elements do a good job of keeping the gameplay in the groove, but the rest of the game feels unvaried in comparison. The more time you sink into this adventure, the more repetitive it feels. The game's combat also lacks variety, and the game has a limited number of enemy types. The game's co-op mode supports up to 4 players. The game's colorful, neon aesthetic blends classic, adventure fantasy with modern, magical pop idol music iconography, but there's a lack of variety in the game's levels, which are procedurally generated. Overall, Soundfall's music-based gameplay adds a fresh twist to an otherwise standard dungeon crawling adventure. The game has online and local co-op action, but a lack of variety in the game's combat, gear, levels, and enemies may make the game feel repetitive after a while. But if you enjoy rhythm games and looter shooters, Soundfall may be a game for you. And number 5 we have Melodies Escape 2, the sequel to the popular rhythm game that lets you use your own music to generate courses for Melody to run or fly through. This time Melody's motion is vertical, which provides a more compressed distance to focus on and more visible prompts to anticipate, making things less stressful. The visual effects and animation in the game have been improved, and the art style has been translated well into the third dimension, resulting in a unique visual style that is appealing but not overstimulating. The gameplay remains fundamentally the same as in the first game, but the algorithm has been updated to fit the new vertical direction of motion, providing more consistency and variety. Melody's customization options have been expanded, allowing you to select different headphones and two-tone color schemes for her body and clothes. However, there are currently only a few skins and a handful of hairstyles available. The game no longer gives you numerical scores or multipliers, but still shows your chain and the iconic heart rating out of 5, making things simpler. The interface has a better balance, with 2 things displayed on each side of the screen, and Melody being in the center. The colors of the orbs and Melody's hair now correspond to the controller's face buttons, which adds a new level of immersion. One issue is that in the music selection, when backing out to the music directory subfolder, it will not auto-scroll back to the folder you entered. The developer has promised to fix this in a future update though. Currently, workshop support has not been added, but it is being worked on. Overall, Melodies Escape 2 is a considerable refinement of the original game, with continuing potential for further development. It is still as entrancing and addictive as ever, and the improvements made to the game's visuals and gameplay mechanics make it a worthy successor. And number 6 we have Project Arrhythmia, a bullet hell game that fans of titles like Just Shapes and Beats (JSAB) should definitely try out. Although some may mistake it as a JSAB ripoff, Project Arrhythmia has actually been in development for quite some time, and offers a distinct gameplay experience that sets it apart from JSAB. One of the game's standout features is its dedicated and robust community, which has crafted numerous levels for players to explore. The developer is continually refining the game and introducing fresh content, including a story mode that is presently in progress. Project Arrhythmia's level editor is another fantastic tool that enables players to create their own unique stages once they've become accustomed to it. While it may be a little difficult to use at first, there are plenty of community-generated tutorials and a Discord server available to assist you. The game offers levels ranging from easy to expert plus, making it accessible to players of all skill levels. The graphics are satisfactory, but the quality of the visuals is dependent on the level creator's skills. However, the menu and editor are simple and efficient. The soundtrack for Project Arrhythmia is exceptional for an indie game, and players can use any verified songs to create their levels. Although the game doesn't have an official story mode yet, the community has created their own narratives within their levels, making the gameplay experience feel like it has a story. In conclusion, Project Arrhythmia is a frenetic and enjoyable game that offers a thrilling challenge depending on the level you choose. It is a unique and entertaining game. So if you enjoy bullet hell games and are searching for a fresh challenge, Project Arrhythmia is undoubtedly worth exploring. And number 7 we have Disaster Band, a budget knockoff version of Trombone Champ, a wild success and meme generator that took the gaming world by storm. However, Disaster Band offers a unique selling point, as it provides multiplayer of up to 4 players and Steam Workshop access. The game has 4 instruments: the recorder, the trombone, the cello, and the violin, and the control idea is identical to Trombone Champ. Notes scroll across the screen, and players move their mouse up and down to match them, clicking and letting go to play each note. Disaster Band's controls are easier to play, and its scoring and note recognition feel more forgiving than Trombone Champ. The cheap doodle graphics and meaty music files give Disaster Band an endearingly budget and meme-worthy feel. However, playing a note off-key is ear-bleeding, and even when hitting the note correctly, it still sounds a bit off. Disaster Band offers two big features that distinguish itself from Trombone Champ: multiplayer mode and Steam Workshop integration. Multiplayer mode is online only, but the game looks ripe for local multiplayer stupidity. The Steam Workshop integration allows players to browse and subscribe to songs, which will appear in their song menu. The lack of content and focus on community-driven content is a daring move, with a variety of songs available to play through. Disaster Band has the potential to stand out from Trombone Champ and be a worthy standalone buy for players who enjoy this type of game. So if you like to make your ears bleed while laughing your asses off, Disaster Band could provide that for you. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle offers a remarkable assortment of rhythmic games that can cater to the interests of both novice and experienced players. However, if you do not have a penchant for rhythmic games, it may be difficult to recommend this bundle. In any case, kindly show your support by liking and subscribing to the channel, and I look forward to connecting with you in the upcoming video.